What's going on, millionaires? You are listening to the Million Dollar Mind Podcast, episode 187, on why you're not getting support for your brand. All right, so today's quote, we're going to start and kick things off with: people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. What if I told you that? That people don't care how much you know until they know exactly how much you care. Is that true for you? I know it's true for me. I usually don't really, I could care less about how much a person knows until I first can see what type of person they are. Like, how much do they care about people? How much do they care about, the advancement and the development of people? Because they can know a whole lot, but if they don't really care too much about people and, taking care of people's needs and, giving true value, I can't see myself getting value from that person much longer. So welcome back, millionaires. Today we're going to be talking about creating a value-based brand that speaks for itself, as opposed to you having to always speak for it. But before we get into that, make sure you subscribe over to our YouTube channels. We are about to hit 100 subscribers. I'm so excited, and I just want to say thank you to our first 99 subscribers who have been tapped in with us on YouTube since we started the YouTube branding. Man, it's been 2 years and this podcast has gone so long without being on YouTube, and I wish I would have did it from the jump. But we're here now, and I can't be any more thankful to have you all a part of the community on YouTube. So we're almost at that 100 subscribers. Make sure you go subscribe to the channel, engage with us, leave some comments on what you liked about episodes. Let us know what you don't like, what episodes you like to hear more, what guests you like to hear more from. I love to engage with you all, and that's another way to engage.
All right, what's up, millionaire? So I know I shared this once, maybe even twice, but here's the third time. So I'm really starting to lose faith in business cards. And the reason why is because every time I get about 500 business cards, I use about 100, 150, and my business has changed. Whether the website has changed or just things are just changing, especially when you're a new entrepreneur. I've been in entrepreneurship just under 5 years. So, things are still changing. You're optimizing, you're getting new websites, getting new Instagram accounts, and your business card really expires. So what I learned and what I love now is Popple, right? I have a Popple card right here in my pocket. And what I love about it is it's a physical card that I can put my logo on. Even has a QR code that I can scan or hold up to somebody's phone, and they have a virtual business card where I can update my information as much as I need to. I can share as much information as I want to from my phone number, social media pages, the whole nine. And I can also disable sharing that information if I want to as well. I definitely want you guys to consider Popple, because as your business is changing, why spend so much money on these paper business cards when most of the times people throw them away and it's expired because you changed your business? So there's also going to be a link at the bottom of this video for you to download Popple, get your business card, or if I hold it up close enough, you might be able to scan that QR code.
So welcome back to the Million Dollar Mind Podcast. This was created for you as a community for self-mastery and abundance by having million-dollar conversations with really dope people. At the only place for tips and tricks to living a more passionate life while attracting opportunities to live your dreams and to make some money while doing it. Now, I'm sure we all know that little cousin or that friend, or we might have even been that person that has always been entrepreneurial. And you go on their Facebook and they started like 80 different businesses, from some type of network marketing pyramid scheme that people like to call it, to, selling some type of product, to trying to sell services, to fixing credit, right? All kinds of stuff. You see this little cousin, they always talking about it. And you, again, may even be that little cousin yourself. But what I notice is eventually that person always goes to ranting on Facebook or something, talking about how family and friends are fake because they don't support blah, blah, blah. You hear it all the time. Like, people don't support you, da 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 da. It be the strangers that support you more than family, da 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 da. Like, all kinds of like negative energy that shows you that their business is not as successful as they want it to be. Essentially, that's the message that you're putting out there. If that's what you communicate, if that's what you're doing, that's what you're communicating to people. Is that my business is not where I want it to be, and I'm going to blame you guys for it. Y'all not supporting me like I need y'all to, because y'all my friends, y'all my family, and y'all not supporting, y'all not buying, y'all not sharing, y'all not telling people about me, and I blame y'all because my business is not doing good, right? I used to be that person. So there's no shame in admitting that person. It's shame in deciding to not admit that you're that person and to not make any changes. That's what's a shame. And I know people who are truly offended and hurt when people don't share their business when they ask them to, when people don't buy their products, when people ignore messages for them to, go do a certain thing to support their brand. People get offended and they start burning bridges by like cutting people off and cussing people out and just blocking people and all kinds of negative behavior that detracts and distracts you from the real lesson here. And is that there's something in your business that is missing that you need to figure out and start to implement as soon as you can. Not blocking people, not continuing to beg people to share a post, not doing any of those things. That's not what your business is missing. And so the reason why I want to have this episode is because I want us to correct the following. I want us to stop resenting our friends and family members. I want us to stop accusing people of giving fake love. I want us to start believing that people in relationships are abundant and not hopeless. I want us to stop thinking that relationships and love is hopeless because people are fake and people don't do this and people don't show up for you when you need them to the most. These are all mindsets of scarcity. Again, we have to spread awareness to love and abundance because it's not that people are not supporting. We're going to get into what it really means. But most importantly, I want you to turn your attention towards abundance. Turn your mindset and your focus towards abundance. So as always, we got some action items that I want to give you guys to help you find out how you can start to make that mental shift. Because we can say make the mental shift, but we know mental shifts and mental changes are some of the hardest changes to implement. So the first step is you want to make sure you are working in the right niche or niche, however you pronounce it. Are you in the right niche? And that niche you'll find will be your passion. What are you passionate about? Right? And you might have several passions. And one of the niches that you want to stay away from is something that you may be passionate in, but not necessarily good in. Right? Right? You may be passionate about football, but you may not be good at football. Or you may be good at football, right? You're passionate about football, you've played football, you're good at it, but you're not good at talking about it or interviewing people about it. Maybe turn it into a podcast. You're not good at podcasting. So you may not want to make that your niche. You may want to find a different, area of football that you can make your niche. But the first step is to find your niche and make sure that you are working in the right niche. Next, once you have the niche, once you have the industry, the thing, the topic, right? Now you want to identify your target. And we like to use this word called avatar to identify our target because businesses may have a demographic, a certain target demographic, a big group. But as an individual, you want to aim small so you can miss small. So you want to focus on an individual. You want to get so specific that you can almost imagine the person that is your target avatar. Your avatar is the person that if you ran across this person in face-to-face experiences, you would easily be able to sell them on your products or services. What does that person look like? What do they do for work? Do they have kids? Do they have pets? Where do they commute? Do they work from home? Are they an entrepreneur? Do they listen to podcasts? Do they watch YouTube videos? Do they read a lot of books? Do they not read? Do they work out? What do they do? What do they enjoy? What are their passions? What are their pleasures? What are their fears? What are their pains? Think about all these things, right? That is going to be your avatar. Get very specific down to a T on what this person may be even wearing, what they look like, what they smell like. Think about it. The more specific you get, the more you actually attract that person, because you like, your brain is so fixated on seeing that person. It's like buying a new car. Once you buy that car, y'all know you see that car pretty much on the street all the time. Once I bought a Charger, I'm like, man, I didn't notice how many damn Chargers it was in Atlanta. But again, you identify your avatar. It's like, oh yeah, damn, I didn't notice how many of my avatar was in my city. Imagine, right? Imagine if you have a business and a product and you find a very specific avatar and you identify that it's a lot of that person in your like 10-mile radius or in like a 50-mile radius in your city. That'd be an amazing opportunity. Now you know, like, oh, I just need to do more local events and bring that person to this event. You just found a way to sell more products in one day, right? The third step is going to be watch episode 170, because on episode 170, I talk about how you should stop selling your products and identify ways to add value. Because it's not that your people not supporting your brand, it's that the brand is not giving enough value. The brand is not giving enough value. So you have to understand how to identify what that value is and how you can add the value, right? Identify what the needs of your target is, identify the fears and the pains and the problems that they're consistently having, and how you can provide a solution to those fears, those pains, those problems. And then the last step is create some type of offer that rewards people for their feedback. I like to always, give people some type of free playbook, or a free gift. It might be a gift card. It might be some cash. It could be a raffle, entries into a raffle. Give people a reward for giving back giving you their feedback, because that feedback is what you're going to use to coagulate, or however you say the word, and put together your actual offer, your solution, your product or service, right? So those are the 4 steps that I want you guys to take on as soon as you possibly can. And remember, as you are taking on those 4 steps, keep these 2 things in mind. Purpose always over profit. You're not doing these things, and you shouldn't be thinking about how much profit. Think about the purpose. Why am I doing this? What problem is it solving? What is the person I'm looking for? Why do I want to help that person? How can I help that person? The purpose always goes before profit. Next, the value always comes before validation. That's another reason why we feel entitled. We feel entitled to people sharing and supporting our business without us even identifying if our business and brand is for them. Right? We just start link spamming and telling people, hey, share my business, but we don't know if they're interested in. We don't know if they have that problem or that solution or need that solution. But we feel entitled to it because we're looking for the validation that our business is worthy over providing the value to make our business worthy. Value over validation always. There are only 2 reasons why people love and care about you and don't support your brand, right? Because it's not that they don't love you. It's not that they care less about you if they're not supporting. There's only 2 reasons why they're not supporting. It's 1, they don't see the value. They don't see the value because this is not a problem that they've had. And then 2, they don't know how to support. And when I mean they don't know how to support, even if you tell them, hey, I just need you to, like and subscribe, and I need you to, share. Sharing is like the biggest way that we want support from people nowadays. We want people to share our business on their page, text people, tell people about it. But people don't know what it is first. They don't know what the brand is, what the brand represents. And they also don't want to confuse their audience. They may have an audience that is particular about snowboarding, right? Let's say you tell me to share your brand, which is snowboarding apparel, snowboarding conversations. I'm just throwing out snowboarding, right? But my audience loves money conversations and financial advice and different types of what you guys like, right? You know what it is. Like, you like to have conversations that are going to point you in the direction on different things that you can do to make more time to spend with family, friends, make some money, grow wealth, all this type of stuff. So if I started blasting with y'all on the $1 Million Mind podcast, snowboarding stuff, just because my family members said, "Hey, share this," you guys gonna be like, what is going on? Like, is he changing the podcast? Like, is he gonna start talking about snowboarding and winter sports? Because if so, I'm not interested in that. So I'm about to unsubscribe. People don't want that to happen. So that's another reason why people may not be able to support how you want them to support you. So ask yourself, are people not supportive, or am I not providing enough value yet? And most of the times, the answer is going to be you're not providing enough value yet. You just have to figure out ways to improve and give out more game, give out more value. Is your mission clear? Right? Do you have multiple ways that people can share and support you outside of just posting you on their Facebook wall, or making a video talking about you? Right? Are there multiple ways that people can share and support you? Maybe they can share or support you just by leaving a review, an anonymous review. Can they do that? Because not everybody feels comfortable with sharing social links to confuse their audience, or they haven't seen a proof of concept, so they don't want to tell, like, if you tell me you fixed credit and you need me to share your credit business, and I've never actually worked with you, so I don't know I know your prices, but I don't know how you fix the credit. I don't know if it's legit. I don't know how long it takes. So I'm not going to feel comfortable telling my mom, my family members to go support that business and to go do business with you if I don't see the proof of concept. So that's another thing. How can people be sure, or how can they learn more? How can you learn more is the bigger question. How can you learn more so that you can figure out the best way to give that value? Be very with yourself. That's the pro tip of the day. Be very honest with yourself when you answer these questions. How can you learn more? Do you have multiple ways that people can support? Is your mission clear? And how can people support? As always, I'm super thankful to have you all part of the show week in, week out. And thanks in advance for becoming a change agent that you're bound to become, especially if you apply these principles and start to create a value-based business over a validated-based business. A business that was created just for you to get some clout. That's not what we're here for. We're here to create businesses and brands that are valuable to people and valuable to creating community and spaces that people feel safe in and can develop and become better people. So what if I told you before I let you go, you could get even more access to my network of 6, 7, 8-figure earners outside of these interviews, right? What if I said that you can get weekly mentorship and coaching by some of the fastest growing entrepreneurs in their space right now, and all you have to do is be a part of our Millionaire Meetup, right? Our Millionaire Meetup, we are getting ready. We just launched our Millionaire Meetup on Patreon through the Abundance League. If you are an Abundance League member, you have access to the Millionaire Meetup, which happens weekly on Sundays from 10 to 11 a.m., which is an opportunity for us to, talk, hold each other accountable, talk about some really good books that we're reading, really good advice that we've gotten. You'll hear back from, some of those millionaire entrepreneurs that I've had on the show on a more intimate, small group basis for some more Q&A, right? Do you think, how much value would that give you right now? If you could talk to the person that you listened to an episode was like, yo, I got so many questions for that person, and you were on the Millionaire Meetup with that person on there, you could ask all the questions you need to. How much value would that provide you right now? Would you say that it's worth $35 a month? Shoot, I know that most of those mentors have courses that cost tens of thousands of dollars. So for $35 a month, you can get access to as many of them as possible and meet with them weekly, and even have some in-person events and networking events to potentially meet them as well. I would say that's killer. But check this out. For the remainder of August and September, I'm going to give you an option to try the Abundance League membership for just $1 for the first week. So you'll have access to it for 1 week for $1 to try it out. If you like it, coolio, we'll see you in the meetups. If you don't, tell me why you don't like it. That's all I ask, right? So just make sure you text dollar trial to 678-329-3389. And with that said, just remember the key focus, build momentum, and drive results so you can live abundantly. Peace.